Everybody, what is going on? The Catch fam, I hope you guys are doing phenomenal tonight. Hope everyone out there has had a great Saturday. Hope the weekend is going fantastic. I hope you guys are ready for another live 2024 fantasy football draft. Here at the Catch, we will be hopping into some Underdog fantasy football drafts tonight. Stakes are high. It's that time of year. We're almost to August. We're going to throw together some beautiful fantasy football teams, some amazing fantasy football rosters. Hope you guys can join tonight. Let's have some fun. Let's talk some fantasy football. So, going to give it a couple of minutes here, see if you guys want to try and roll in. And if you guys missed the first draft, I should have time to run a second draft as well. I think for tonight, I was going to hop into MMG's Best Ball League. Little $5 entries. Should be fun. And we can just kind of see where that takes us, see what those lobbies look like. I've done like 2 or 3 of these, but not too many of them. So Pete should be joining the stream at some point as well. So I should have a good show in line late here on Saturday night. I'll probably enter the lobby at 11:52 p.m. Eastern time. Cats, what's going on, my guy? Hello, hello, hello. So it's just a $5 entry, 50 entry max. I don't know why this shows so weird now on the screen for me, but it's a smaller tournament. 300K total in prizes. I mean, there's nothing different. It's a standard best ball format. First place, I'm trying to. First place is 30. Second is 20. I can't see anything past that. So, I feel like it's just a good way to knock out a couple drafts tonight. So I'll enter at 11:52 p.m. Eastern time. If you want to get weird tonight, maybe I'll do a weekly winners. I'm holding off like another week before I really start ripping into Best Ball Mania, just to get out the last training camp nerves. But let's see. I mean, we're at a fill rate of, see, once again, I don't know if I can see it, 49.1 on Best Ball Mania, so I'm not going to panic yet. All right, 11:52 p.m. Eastern time, less than a minute, ladies and gentlemen. There we are. I'm in the lobby now. 9 spots. If you guys want to get in, we have got 9 spots to fill. Get in the draft. Okay. Get in the dang draft. Emil, what's going on, my guy? Hello, hello. All right, not much in terms of fantasy news, but we do have an interesting report coming out on Chase Brown. Bengals running back Chase Brown continues to take the majority of reps at running back with the first team offense. Interesting for you Chase Brown truthers. Could be some good news. For you Zach Moss truthers, could be bad news. We'll find out. Might not matter. Could still be just a straight up committee as well. I do kind of feel like I'm going to start taking some more shares of Chase Brown, though. This news, this one report is getting me hype. I'm feeding in to the training camp hype. All right, let's go. Let's go. At the 112 tonight, we got Cats at the 1.7. We've got a Giants fan in here. Like I said, I should be hopping into a second draft after this. So, if you guys didn't get in on the first one, don't freak out. Okay. 1.12 is going to be fun. I feel like I've gotten the 1.12 a couple times in the past couple weeks, though. Emil says not buying it. Zach Moss, the RB1. I think that Zach Moss probably is the RB1. But I think that Chase Brown is going to get a good amount of opportunity as well. I think we'll see both out there. But goal line back, probably Zach Moss, right? We'll find out. All right, into the first we go. Let me know what's going on tonight. Any fantasy football questions that you guys have? Redraft, Dynasty, Best Ball, Laying Mommy. Any fantasy football debate that you guys want to do? Let me know. Like I said, Pete will be here at some point as well. Probably best chance it's a 50 or 55-45 split in favor of Moss with the upside that Brown takes it over. Trying to figure out which camera spot I like the best tonight. Not that. Imagine if I ran a whole stream like this. You guys would probably hate me. Yeah, I do think as the season goes on, Chase could end up completely taking over. Which would be exciting. That's literally like the only report that we have in terms of. I just checked the sleeper fantasy news. It's so hard to not draft Jahmyr Gibbs right here. But I've drafted from the 112, like I said, a couple times this past week. So I'm going to go double wide receiver here and just go Marvin Harrison, Drake London. I've been doing most of my drafts as of late, just really aggressive at wide receiver to start. Either 6 wide receivers in a row or 5 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 0 RB builds, or hero running back, 5 wide receivers, later round tight end build. So I'm going to do one of those. I did one random draft where I went 3 running backs to start. I was like, I'm just going to get, if I do these typical strategies every 9 drafts, I'm going to have one draft in here where I just do something against my normal strategy just to kind of change up builds and exposure and whatnot. But probably going to go 5 wide receivers on a tight end. So if I'm going to go hero running back, generally I'm drafting that running back in the first or the second. But every now and then, a guy like Isaiah Pacheco, James Cook, Rashad White comes to me at a good value. And I'll consider any of those guys a hero running back as well. I mean, there'll be other running backs, Derrick Henry probably in that conversation for me too. Just guys that I feel like if they're there at too good of a value, I won't pass up on them. And I'm fine with them being a quote unquote hero running back. But generally, I'm going with a guy in the first if I'm going hero running back. So sometimes a draft can sway me in that direction. But I feel best. I mean, a lot of these teams I'm throwing together where I'm just going into that RB dead zone with confidence and stacking up at wide receiver, getting an elite tight end. It's like I just come out of these drafts feeling like such a good spot. But with this build, generally the intention at quarterback is go QB late. And lately the quarterback landscape's been crazy with everyone now talking about drafting 3 quarterbacks as like a must. And I always talk about it like draft wide receivers early on who can be parts of stacks that include late round quarterbacks. So you can spend less draft capital on quarterbacks, more draft capital at other positions. And right now the community is making that a little bit more difficult. Thoughts on the Tua deal? I have no problem with the Tua deal. I think some people are looking at this like, why is Tua getting this type of money? Why is Jordan Love getting this type of money? It's just the way that contracts work, really, regardless of position. Like, next guy up's always going to get paid. We've seen this year after year in the NFL right now. Cap space is increasing. Revenue for the NFL is increasing. Contracts are going to get bigger. I think for guys like Tua who have put everything out there on the field and gone through some like intense injuries, and I mean, people were basically like, I don't know if Tua can be a quarterback going into last year, and he led the league in passing yards. Jordan Love played on a prove it deal last year, improved it. Brought his team to the playoffs, had a great season, and beat the Cowboys. Like beat the Cowboys in Dallas, right? Yeah, in Dallas. Won a playoff game his first full year as a starter. So I think both these guys getting their deals just based on where their contracts ran up is perfectly fine. Jared Goff got extended this offseason. It's like Goff's another guy, right? It's like way too important to that franchise. Like all these guys deserve the money. It is weird. Like when you look at like who's the highest paid quarterback, and you look at, Mahomes should be number one. Allen should be up there, right? Even guys like Aaron Rodgers have proven enough to be ahead of other players, right? Lamar Jackson should be up there, right? Well, however you want to view it, Joe Burrow, whoever your guys are, it just depends on the year that they, got their deal. Give me Tank Dell here. Okay, I'm having a really tough time passing on Zay Flowers also. So yeah, I'm good with Tua getting paid. I think when you look at that Miami Dolphins offense, I think McDaniel is a head coach. Tyreek is a wide receiver 1. Waddle is a wide receiver 2. What they're able to do in the run game, like is this team able to function without the right quarterback? Pete is in the house.
Hello.
What's up, Pete?
How much?
We're just talking some Tua over here.
Oh, not two a time.
It's always Tua time. And point I was making is, does this offense operate without Tua at quarterback? It's so hard to just. Every team is searching for that guy at quarterback. He fits the offense. That was proven last year. He proved that he can overcome the gruesome injuries he had the year before and not die on the field or whatever. Give Tua the money. He's just the next man up. You see Mahomes as an example of a guy who restructures his contract quite frequently. The guys who deserve to be at the top will be at the top one way or another. I'm fine with Tua getting paid. I'm fine with Jordan Love getting paid. Especially
Jordan Love is a big risk. It's like 8 games. Tua at least has like, multiple seasons.
Sure.
Stuff like that. Jordan Love, 8 games.
I think the big thing with Love though is that he played on a prove it extension last year. It's like the Packers were like, all right, we're gonna give you a 1-year deal, give you the opportunity to prove it, and if you don't prove it, then you're not getting the big deal. And then it's like, well, Jordan Love had all the leverage, and it's like the second half of the season sometimes it's better if the second half of the season is the more impressive half of the season,
Yeah, because it was a bad first half of the season.
Yeah. Especially when you end, I mean, it's like they lost to the best team arguably in the NFL in the playoffs, and before that they destroyed the Cowboys. Is there a better feeling as an NFL team than destroying the Cowboys and their home stadium? I don't know.
Nah.
So, yeah, I'm sure there'll be a couple quarterbacks the next 2-3 years who start restructuring their deals based on wins, Super Bowls, playoff wins, performances, but it's just kind of a next man up type of market. All right, Kat says some good Pollard coach speak today. Yeah, obviously, yeah. I told them at the beginning of the stream I'm buying in on some Chase Brown coach speak. I'm aboard the Chase Brown hype train because I need more late round running backs to like. So
fair, we all do.
Give me some Chase Brown. Taking
what about
first reps.
Devonta Smith love? I hear him and Hurts are having a camp.
So I guess they had like 2 plays in a row that were both touchdowns to Smith, I think is what I saw. And one of them was like a bomb down the field. So I mean, you know me. I love me some Devonta Smith all day long. So I love to see that. Made for TV. Good to see you. What's up, bro? Patty, what's going on? For PPR 10 man, would you rather have Olave, Devonta, or Henry? I can't choose. Based on rankings, Olave. I go in that order, full PPR. I mean, I'm very high on Derrick Henry, but full PPR, I still go in this order: Olave, Devontae Adams, Henry. Don't overthink it. If this is your, I'm assuming this is your, is this like a keeper league, or is this just like who you're going to potentially draft, like second round pick? I would assume. Just look at position. What position are you planning on starting your draft with in the second round? Wide receiver, running back. Henry's fine if you want to go running back, but if you have the chance to draft Olave, I'd probably just draft Olave. Dang, James Cook. I was thinking about going running back here. All right, I'm going to start 6 wide receivers tonight. Give me Jaden Reed, and speaking of offseason hype, give me Xavier Worthy. You know, I drafted so much Rashee Rice and Hollywood Brown. I'm trying to even it out and get some Xavier Worthy sprinkled in. I don't know what Cat's trying to say. The Sand Eater taking Hurts 8 picks of 80 ahead of ADP. What's the first? Bonaz. Cats, forgot you're drafting in here. Yeah, Hurts at 33 for literally no reason. This team is Bijan, JT, Hurts, McBride, Mixon. Oh, that's his username is Bonaz. Yeah, so far this lobby has been weird. We got a guy taking Allen and Lamar. A guy took Laporta and Kittle. Just some weird starts here. Then you got me over here with 6 wide receivers. All right. So Patty says second round. Yeah, I would just go in that order personally. Olave, Adams, Henry. Who are you taking in the first? 10-man makes it more even, in my opinion. Better chance Henry's top 5 running back than Olave, top 5 wide receiver. Super close. This is true as well. Plus, in 10-man, you're going to get better value in the third. Like, it's deeper at wide receiver. So, if you're going to stud wide receiver in the first, you can definitely consider Henry in the second. Let us know, Patty. What's that first round pick looking like?
Probably get 2 stud wide receivers in the third and fourth in a 10-man league.
That's true. I kind of forgot an important piece of info there. All right. It is officially the last Sunday of July. Then we will have, well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 in August. Was kickoff the 5th?
I think, yeah, it's early this year, like really early.
I think it's September 5th.
Yeah, that Thursday, it would be the 5th. Yeah.
So we have, including, I mean, it's midnight, so including at least where I am, including today, 5 Sundays left till kickoff. That is crazy. I don't know if I'm ready. All right, let's see. All right, guys. It's Saturday, so we need your guys' input for fantasy debates, fantasy questions in the chat, or NFL topics. It's Saturday. We will we'll do anything. We get weird on Saturday nights. Meal says we're ready. I am ready. I'm just playing. I'm excited. I think this is going to be a great season. All right, what am I at here? Pick 84 already. Okay. Jake Ferguson's here. I might just take Fergie. I might just say screw tight end. Should be good at wide receiver for a while.
You think?
I love doing drafts like this.
Shock value.
MH Jr., Drake London, Tank Dell, Flowers, Reed, Worthy. Beautiful. I'll probably just try and stack Kirk Cousins and Drake London. Because that's a late round stack. Fergie sniped, dude. Imagine that.
Just did what we know the rule on this channel.
I know.
Can't bring a guy's name up. It's over. He will be drafted.
Double running back there. Give me White and Swift. I'll probably just draft running back all the way to pick 133.
So I'm gonna go 6 and 5 straight.
Throw a tight end in here somewhere. Should be good. All right, what wide receiver are you most excited to watch? It's a good question. I'm gonna
any wide receiver.
Any wide receiver.
I don't know, 18. But on a serious answer, I really kind of want to watch Xavier Worthy in that Chiefs offense.
I was just thinking really about the Chiefs too.
Yeah. That obviously everyone wants to see Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah. I like both those answers. Both those came to mind for me as well. I just think the Chiefs wide receiver core in general, pick your poison. I mean, all these guys are going to be great. I just want everyone to stay healthy, you know.
Ooh, I got a good one. Scary Terry in Washington. I want to see in a Kingsbury offense. I want to see what a guy who always puts up numbers with bad quarterbacks, bad offenses, what he's going to do with something that's creative, get him open.
Absolutely. And I'm excited to see if Jahan Dotson doesn't suck this year.
Still got that stock, baby.
Oh, yeah. And I would say the Bills wide receivers, I just want to see if anyone shapes out there. When you got a rookie and Keon Coleman, that's kind of like mixed. Curtis Samuel, who I think will be good, but like, what is the ceiling? Khalil Shakir, another guy I think can be good, but once again, what is the ceiling there? I think Kincaid is truly the wide receiver one on that team at tight end. So, because I think if these guys are good enough, like this, I mean, it's kind of like I said this going into the year that the Chiefs lost Tyreek Hill. It's like, well, this is still an opportunity for this offense to reshape itself, and sometimes that can be a good thing. And that ended up being a good thing immediately. And you could argue it wasn't last year, but they still won the Super Bowl last year, you know? So even with Diggs off this offense, this is an opportunity for the Bills to kind of reshape themselves offensively and could wind up being a good thing. Could open up this offense in a different way. So I'm excited to see if this offense is really just going to be reliant on Josh Allen at the goal line, James Cook and Dalton Kincaid, or if this turns into something that I don't know. There's a lot of Bills haters out there right now who are like, this offense is not going to be good this year. And if these wide receivers step up, it could be fantastic. Kat says J-Mo. I'm with you. J-Mo's going to have a stud year. I will go to the grave defending Jameson Williams this offseason. Albert, good to see you, bro. Emil says, excited to see what Rome Odunze does. Yeah, I mean, Odunze's in a great spot, right? Like, you have DJ Moore and Keenan Allen lining up in front of you. There's just no defensive pressure there. I will say I'm still pretty shaky on Odunze fantasy-wise. I think he's kind of in like a JSN situation where he can be great. He should be great. But I
But
think maybe in his rookie season, like kind of like how DK and Lockett were in front of JSN, I think you're going to see a lot of flashes, but the volume's got to go to Keenan Allen and DJ Moore. Man, some good quarterbacks here, but I'm going running back. What pick are we at? 108. Okay. Am I drafting too much of Gus Edwards, guys? Like, I
yes,
literally,
he's gonna get hurt. He's a
yeah,
charge. You go from a Baltimore backfield where he's the only guy that could stay healthy in a backfield that's always hurt to another team who feels like they're always hurt at any position.
I know. I feel like, let's see. I have 36.9% exposure to Gus Edwards, my third most drafted player. I feel like I need to I should have started taking
Sure.
like
J.K. Dobbins. Just go with his
later.
back.
Yeah.
Anything.
I mean, I could have taken Chase Brown there. That's probably what I should have gone like Chase Brown, Singletary, Chase Brown, Trey Benson to something different. Meal says Scary Terry is a good one. Kingsbury offense is so underwhelming, says Cats. I really like Cliff Kingsbury. And initially in Arizona, it was great. Let's see. Let's see what the numbers say. On Saturdays, we look up numbers. All right, I just want to make sure. Okay. As a head coach, oh, we don't care about win-loss. Give us.
Let's see, offensive production.
So 2021 was the best year. Ninth in points, 5. And all right, number 8 in total yards. Okay, it's kind of weird the way this is showing me it. Wait. So actually, this is weird the way it shows me. Okay, 8th in yards, 11th in points, 3rd in rushing offense, 7th in passing offense. Dang, they're. But in 2019, 16th in points, 2020, 13th in points. Big fall off 2022, 21 in points. Like 2019, there wasn't as much pressure. But there were 6th in total yards 2020, 8th in total yards 2021.
Didn't get Kyler got hurt in 22 though, so
That's true.
that could be why. I can't imagine they did anything with the backups.
I remember watching not hard All or Nothing, the in season one with that team, and that team like had just a gruesome amount of injuries all over the place. Honestly, that team was not that bad for like the final roster they ended up with. So there's my Cliff Kingsbury numbers. I don't know how that makes anyone feel, but that's the best I could find. All right, let me make these draft picks. Kat says Gus had offseason surgeries, not recovered yet. That I knew. But he'll be back. Don't worry. He's been horrible ever since that year in Arizona. Which year? We're talking numbers, Cats. Made Caleb Williams look like a walk-on.
He didn't call the plays at US. He wasn't calling plays at USC. He was an offensive analyst. He had nothing to do with that offense last year. He was an analyst. He was just getting paid by his buddy. Lincoln Riley did everything.
What a cool job name. I'm a
offensive or defensive analyst. Yep.
Who the heck drafted Kirk Cousins already?
Wasn't me, promise.
So annoying, dude. I'm going 0 quarterback. This whole new like, oh, you have to draft 3. Okay, this guy has 2 quarterbacks, but why did he took Kyle Pitts? Gosh dang it. Quarterbacks just have a different ADP and Underdog now. We have to adjust, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, most of these guys are going at their ADP except for Kirk and Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts went at 3.9. Cousins went at 11.1. Cousins' ADP is like 161. He went at 121. Oh, well. I'll get over it. Who's the most overhyped fantasy player this year?
Ooh, that's a great question.
That is a good question. I'm brainstorming. I'm cheating. I'm looking at the list.
Trying to think of good people I don't want to draft. I think it might be Drake London. I think might be a little over gas this year. Hasn't had 1,000-yard season. I mean, okay. Kirk Cousins is competent at quarterback, but let's see if people actually like cover him. What they're gonna do.
See, I like Drake London.
Then Olave, go with the other. It's one of those NFC South receivers. I think way overhyped. Olave and London are both going to be good.
I understand the hate though. I do think there is risk with the production he's put up in his first 2 seasons. I just think the production will be there this year. I think Olave could be fair to say too, but I also believe in Olave. But once again, Olave, wide receiver 25, wide receiver 16. Last 2 years. London, wide receiver 31, wide receiver 37. So definitely putting stock into improved offensive play there. So those are not bad calls. I might go I feel like this is cheating because he's a rookie. But Malik Neighbors. I think Malik Neighbors will be good. Especially throughout his career, but I don't like this rookie situation for Malik Neighbors at all. I mean, look at like Jalen Waddle had 1,015 receiving yards in his rookie season, 6 touchdowns. Was a wide receiver 13. But that was with Tua quarterback who he played college football with. And I guess like maybe that's the highest ceiling I could see Waddle, or excuse me, Neighbors at, which is not bad for where he's being drafted, but I just don't see more than 1,000-ish receiving yards and 5 to 6 touchdowns. But I think the floor is pretty low. I think the big thing is how many touchdowns does he end up scoring? I don't think
he might get all those red zone targets. Like, who knows? He could get all those red zone targets, and they may not run it in.
Man, why are people drafting players I like tonight? Why are you drafting Chuba Hubbard 10 spots against ADP? Gross. All right, I'm still trying to think of I'll think of another name. Emil says A-Rich.
Yeah, I like that. I definitely like that. Way too. People are gassing up 2.5 games he played last year.
And I knew you're
walking. He is a walking injury, and it's really easy to look good for 2.5 games when nobody has film on you. Like if people get film on him, they're gonna take away what he wants to do.
I'm trying to think of like. Because he's kind of put you on the hot seat, and I'm pretty, I don't know.
Now, Shane Steichen could just be the genius people think he is.
Is it crazy to say Devon Achane? I just
feel like he could get hurt.
I feel like I'd rather have Henry or Pacheco, and I'm on the clock. I think I feel more confident in Rashad White or James Cook as well. Dang, I like have to go quarterback here. This quarterback landscape is just garbage. I don't know what's happening to Underdog right now. I'm going Luke Musgrave anyways. Yeah, I just feel like I'd rather wait and go Pacheco, White, or Cook. Like, I love those three guys this year. Love them. I think they can all finish as a top 5 running back this year. I think A-Chain has like RB1 upside, but for how many games? So I think he might be up there for me. And I'd rather take in that round, I'd rather take Henry or Kyron.
Definitely rather take Kyler.
Yeah, I guess Kyron's going.
You could sell me on Henry.
And Underdog, I guess A-Chain goes before Kyron sometimes, but that's because in best ball, like that weekly upside, as long as it's there, people don't care. Let me think of, okay, there's a running back and wide receiver. Let me think of a quarterback too. I'll go each position here. Okay, I feel like this is cheating again, but I'll say Caleb Williams because I like Caleb Williams. I think he'll be fine as a rookie. I think he's got all the weapons, everything he needs. Could have a better offensive line, but it's not awful. But like those of you who are like, I'm going to draft Caleb Williams and expect him to be a week in, week out starter, I think they're still going to be growing pains fantasy wise.
Yeah, like, don't expect CJ Stroud.
Yeah, he can have a great rookie season by rookie standards, but even Stroud last year, who was great, was still only the QB 11. Like I don't think Caleb's going to be a top 12 fantasy quarterback this year. Not particularly being drafted as one, but like I'd rather draft Purdy, Tua, Goff, even probably Herbert or T-Law. And if I'm taking a chance on a rookie quarterback, it's probably Jaden Daniels for the huge rushing upside, you know? So I feel like that's cheating, but we already talked about A-Rich anyways. Here's a real hot, here's a hot seat. It's not really a hot take, but this would anger people. Let's just look at Joe Burrow's fantasy stats last year. 3 points week 1.
He was hurt.
That's true. 16, 9, 4. 24, 14, bye week, healed up, 3 good starts against 3 competitive teams, 27 against San Francisco, 22 against Buffalo, 21 against Houston, gets hurt week 11. So
he was and didn't he have a good start to the Ravens game when he got hurt too? Was it the Ravens?
Yeah, he had already threw a touchdown before,
and he was throwing a second. His wrist literally snapped on the one that was going to be another touchdown.
It's true. It's a fair point. I talk about Trevor Lawrence, right? And I'm like, you can't. I feel like T-Law should have an asterisk last year. I think that's fair to say too about Burrow's first couple of starts. He should have not played the first 4 weeks.
Yeah, they should have rested it. Like,
especially
the calf is bad.
With what we got out of Jake Browning, it's like, oh, they definitely should have not threw him out. But who would have known Jake Browning was a stud? So
a legend,
literally a legend. So that's just to anger people. I'll leave it
John chose violence tonight.
I mean, you guys know I love Burrow, but there are people who are like, Burrow,
trash.
I don't know, man.
Burrow trash? Burrow trash? Question mark? I'm not saying it, but people are saying it.
Man, I wanted to draft Bryce Young and Will Levis. Oh, Will Levis is gone. I can't even draft Will.
No, Will Levis hype season.
Oh, dang it! I need to draft a quarterback who does not have a week 11 bye. Okay, Derek Carr, I guess.
Yeah. Woo. Sam Darnold. See, you already gone?
I have been drafting Sam Darnold as a QB3 lately. As long as I have Addison or JJ or Hawkinson, I'll take him. The way things are going right now, you have to build these teams with 3 quarterbacks, because people are drafting them. basically the team that won Best Ball Mania last year had 3 quarterbacks, and now everyone's freaking out, and you're either left with bad quarterbacks or you feel like you have to follow the trend. I will still happily draft just 2 quarterbacks, but when my QBs are Baker, Bryce Young, and Derek Carr,
doesn't feel great.
The third one, it feels necessary.
Yeah.
All right, overhyped tight end. I'll just put it this way. I'm going to put it this way. Okay, right now on Sleeper, we have in this order: Laporta, Kelsey, McBride, Andrews, Kincaid. I like all these guys, but I think Kincaid should be way closer to tight end 3 in ADP. I think for the most part, I'd rather have Kincaid over Andrews and McBride. And I really like McBride, and I think Andrews is fine. But I think Kincaid has tight end 1 upside this year. And I've talked about this since the beginning of the offseason, right? I just Kincaid is the wide receiver 1 for the Bills. And I think he's going to get a tremendous amount of red zone work as well. So I'll put it that way. And one to anger the people, which I don't really believe in. If I was like a Stephen A. Smith and I had to just make hot takes that I didn't believe in, I would say Kyle Pitts is going to disappoint again this year.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear.
Yeah. That's your guy. You can't ever take that.
No, I could do that. It's just funny.
I
was never on the Kyle Pitts draft him as high as he's been drafted the last 3 seasons ever.
Yeah. If he falls, if he's there. I will also say Evan Ingram disrespect is crazy, dude. He's a tight end 5 2 years ago, the tight end 2 last year. And Kittle, Pitts, Kincaid, Andrews, McBride, Kelsey, Laporta all being drafted ahead of him.
Well, some of those guys I like more than him.
Well, I mean, just looking at ADP on Sleeper, it does depend on the
draft. And Ingram finished really strong to the end of the season. When the Jags were struggling, he was kind of the only guy that was doing anything for them.
It's true. He crushed it weeks 13 through 18. Week 15, a little tough against Baltimore, but they were like a top 5 team against tight ends. So, and that was the game T-Law got hurt for the 5th time last year. All right. Maybe I'm misinformed, but the word was that Cliff was in charge of designing the offense and the quarterback coach at USC.
Offensive analyst. Lincoln Riley is the quarterback coach. Lincoln Riley called all the plays. He was just writing his buddy was just writing him a check.
I'm no say in the college facts here. That's Pete's department. If you think A-Rich is overpriced, go bet the under on Pick'ems. Underdog has insane confidence in him.
Oh, that's good to know. That's good to know. But don't they refund if he gets like injured or something stupid? Like, oh.
Yeah. Well, actually, no. I think it's if you have hit the under, then like you're good. It's just if you hit the over.
All right, good.
Which is nice, yeah.
That is nice because I would be betting for an injury. Not that I'm rooting for it. It's just like I don't know.
Pete is wishing that.
I do not wish injury on a quarterback out of the AFC. Okay. I won't say I don't wish injury on other people, but I have no bone to pick with Anthony Richardson from a personal level.
I'm just joking. Please, for those who think Corum will start over Kyron, please seek help, says Emil. Kat says Corum is still a really good pick in my opinion. Kyron obviously the starter, but so much contingent upside in that offense with Corum. Mm-hmm. So I think the way I look at it, I think both of these things can coexist. Like I think Kyron is the clear-cut RB1, and people are overlooking that to a degree. Like just overlooking what he did last year. But I think people at the same time are also overlooking the fact that he was hurt for like 6 games. And if that happens again, Corum is easily going to be the guy.
And Corum might take like red zone touches. Like
yeah.
Anything inside the 5. They don't have the tight end this year to throw the ball to. just pound Corum. And Corum is really got a nose for the end zone.
Sorry, I just had to make the worst draft pick. So the draft Zay Jones. Yeah, so when you look back to last year, it's like if Kyron played in every game last year, let's see, he missed 1, 2, 3, 4 games, so sorry. And then didn't play week 18. So if he plays in 4 more games, he's top 5 running back easy.
But that's kind of the same thing with A-Chain, isn't it?
A-Chain finishes RB24.
Yeah, but what if he stayed on that pace? You know, we stay on that pace.
Well,
those things.
Yeah, because that pace wasn't. Let's see. He missed
1,
7, 2, 3, 4, 5. Basically 7 games. It was week 11. He played one. He had one
snap. He played one snap. That was hurt. That hurt. That hurt my heart.
So yeah, I think for points per game, he was like way up there. But Kyron finished as RB7, you know, so it's like it's just like undisputed, like so. And when you look at what Rams running backs did in that time, like you could like poor Darrell Henderson just got like used and abused by the Rams. But yeah, he was a viable option fantasy.
Both of them were. Well,
yeah.
What was the other one?
I can't even remember.
Yeah, Henderson. There was 2 of them, and then they kept flipping which one was going to be the guy.
Yeah.
Was it Foreman? Was Foreman there last year?
Was it? I'll look it up in a second.
It's one of those guys. One of those guys that you've heard of that are always, they come in week 8. They have 4 good weeks that you picked up on the waivers.
I'm entering the lobby again, ladies and gentlemen. 3 spots. Get in the lobby. MMG.
Do it now.
Do it. Hold on. I'm about to look up because now I can't remember who it was. Rams. It was Ronnie Rivers. Yeah, that's right. You're right, Emil.
Rivers.
Cats. What team did you just draft? Jaden Daniels, Stafford, May, Barkley, Pacheco, Spears, Allen, Tracy, Brown, Cup, Kirk, D-Hop, Brian Thomas, J-Mo, Polk, Demarcus Robinson, Freiermuth, Conklin. This is a nice little team. Jaden Daniels fell really far.
No, it was Darrell Henderson. It was Darrell Henderson. Darrell Henderson was the guy I was thinking of.
Oh, yeah. I said Henderson.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Royce Freeman. Royce Freeman was the other one.
Oh,
Freeman's the one who had the big one. Yeah.
That's right.
Royce Freeman, 14 games, 77 carries, 300 yards. And
because I remember there's a point between Rivers and Freeman where it was hard to actually figure out which one was going to be the guy.
Well, I think Henderson had a 2 touchdown game. I think one of those where he had like a touchdown in back-to-back weeks. It was something like that. But yeah.
And he was on the Rams before.
Royce Freeman was the sneaky guy. Cowboys, there you go. There's your guy, Dallas. All in.
Dude. Cowboys. He's really on the Cowboys now?
Yes.
Of course he is. Cats, I think it was definitely an interesting lobby we just got hit with, but good team. I love a clean little Matthew Stafford, Demarcus Robinson stack to clean things up there. All right, let's do this. I'll go through and I'll name most underrated, one or 2 underrated players, fantasy-wise at each position after I make this draft pick, which looks like it'll be A.J. Brown. Depends. Whoever the heck this guy picks.
You ruined it by saying his name. Oh, there you go.
He goes Puka. Kind of not, but now I want to go Brees Hall. I'll go AJ Brown. Sorry, Brees. Brees at 110 feels like a smash, though. All right. Oh, you did have Cup too. My bad. All right. Underrated quarterback. I mean, it's just this whole tier right here. Like Dak, Kyler, Jordan Love, all those guys have top 5 upside. So let's go a little bit further. Purdy or Tua? I think both those guys can finish in the top 8 easy. And I hate Brock Purdy slander in any way. ESPN came out with like that top 12 quarterback ranking, I think it was. Purdy didn't make it, and so many people were like still arguing that Purdy is not a good quarterback and just like a system quarterback. And I just don't get it. I'm not here for it. And fantasy wise, QB 6 last year. Like what's different this year? Brandon Ayuk might not be there. He'll probably be there. I guess I'm going Drake London again. So I guess I'm going Purdy, quarterback.
Purdy.
That's going to be my guy, no matter what. Running backs, I think I'm still going Henry. I'm really surprised, especially with Henry finishing as RB8 last year. I'm still surprised he's not going like closer to where Barkley goes. Gus Edwards had 13 rushing touchdowns in this offense. I think Rachaad White is massively undervalued too. Top 5 running back last year. Like I've heard like 1-2 people mention that all off season. I'm like, I don't get it. Late round guys probably like Zamir White, Raheem Mostert, Austin Eckler. Forgot that I guess I've talked about underrated guys a lot already this offseason. So I'll try and name just one. I'm gonna name one wide receiver. That's it. If fully healthy, Christian Kirk.
There you go.
Yeah. Last year
It was good.
4 single-digit games when healthy. Oh no, 3. Because last game was the game he got hurt. Just 1 target, 1 reception in that game. Kirk is just a PPR monster. And I'm not worried about Brian Thomas being there because Ridley was there last year. Ingram was there last year. Etienne was there last year. It's Kirko for me. Tight end, I think actually it's probably Ingram. We already talked about that too. Numbers wise, it has to be Ingram. But Dalton Schultz, I still really like. I think Goddard, who had a down year last year, was the tight end 11, 2021, tight end 12, 2022, was still a top 15 tight end last year. It statistically was not that bad for 14 games. So I think the ceiling might be capped with Goddard, but he's probably close to that conversation. Emil says my underrated quarterback this year is Geno.
Is Geno even going to start?
I think so.
We hope so.
I
don't know.
I mean, I'm not 100% out on Sam Howell.
Neither am I. I think he's okay.
Yeah. But I think Geno will get the start. So new offense this year. So he's gonna have the chance there. We got Ryan Grubb at offensive coordinator. I don't know. I mean, Gino went from the QB5 to QB19. I kind of worry about him. But I think he could definitely have a better season than last year. I don't know, like, if I'm even ready to go top 15 for Gino. Like, what's your ceiling for for Gino Emil? T-Law is the most underrated quarterback since the helmet era. Agreed. I should have not disrespected our boy that way. I kind of want to go Pacheco here, but I want to keep drafting wide receivers for fun. Let me Christian Kirk. Speaking of, unless Sam Howell gets touched by the hand of Goldilocks, Gino's 10 times quarterback Howell is. Howell plays like Baker Mayfield playing Madden with himself.
Like, did people like Cats? You watched Gino last year. He was a bottom 5 quarterback. Gino last year, he was horrible. He had one good game that Thursday night against the Cowboys, but Seahawk fans were trying to jump off the roof watching them play last year. Every week I heard about it, but Sam Howell holds on to the ball a little too long. He likes to get hit.
Fantasy finishes.
Sam Howell has to crush him last year.
He did. Above 16 points for Gino, 3. Above 15 points, 4. Under 10 points, 4. Oh no, I missed the last 3 weeks. Those are all. The last 3 weeks he was pretty solid. 17, 16, 20. Okay, I wasn't seeing those. Okay, so I take that back. But still, okay, so let me redo that. 16 or more fantasy points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, not including week 18. I mean, we're not playing in week 18, so 6. Above 20 points, it's still just 3. So, and under 10 points is still 4, which is really shaky. Now Sam Howell, I do think a lot of people forget Sam Howell was the QB 12 in fantasy last year. Now, if we're going to look at games under 10 points, Sam Howell had more. He had 6 total, and those, well, we'll say 5 because we're not going to include week 18. But those last 3 games that he played were god awful. He had 0.2 fantasy points against the Jets.
It was somebody. I knew there was one of those games.
He was 6 of 22. I don't even know how that happens. But that original stretch he was on outside of that really bad game against Buffalo in week 3, then a bad game in week 7 at the Giants, 18 or more fantasy points in every game. Week 1 was 16 points. So 18 or more in every game except for 3. We'll just say that. With a ceiling of 31 points, Gino's ceiling was 30 points week 13 at Dallas, which was just a
goofy game. That was a weird game.
That was just one of those truly weird games. Great game for fantasy for the most part.
Hey, and Howell ran for 263 yards. Look at that.
The Cowboys won that game, right? In the end.
They did. Barely.
That was a great game for betting. It was like every single offensive player scored on both sides. Except for like Lockett, I think. Every Cowboy scored basically.
Let's look at that. I'll go look at that box score.
I'll go James Cook here. Blasphemous. Pete Carroll ran that offense in the ground. Gino can sling that thing. Make real moves.
Yeah.
He was good in fantasy because they were down 30 every game because he took 3 sacks per possession.
That's not his fault when the offensive line don't block for him. You say hunt and there's 6 guys on you.
Easy to throw for 300 yards and second and 8 when it's second and 18 every drive. So let's see.
No.
He threw for 300 yards 4 times in that stretch. 5 times. Sorry. And then a 299 game at Denver game, week 2, Washington and Denver was crazy. It's so weird to think back like on a game like that just was meaningless, but that was an absolutely crazy game. All I know is I traded like a 3rd or 4th round Dynasty pick for Sam Howell, and I feel good about that.
TK had 3 touchdowns against the Cowboys in that game.
Yeah, he balled out. I think it was the Cowboys like every.
Yeah. CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Tony Pollard, and Jake Ferguson all scored.
Yeah, and I think, did Dak rush for one?
No.
No, okay.
They kicked a bunch of field goals. Aubrey kicked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 field goals.
That's still crazy.
That was a day. Yeah, Dak threw for 299 and 3 touchdowns.
I just remember seeing random parlays from that game where like people took all the overs.
All the overs. And the score. Anytime touchdown score.
Yeah. The other big one last year was the Eagles Washington. I think the first time they played.
Was that like a super under?
It was just like everyone scored that game and like all the overs hit. That was just a game where we really saw how bad Washington and Philadelphia's secondaries were last year.
Yeah, 34-31 overtime.
Yeah.
Let's see. DeAndre Swift, Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, field goal, AJ Brown, Brian Robinson, AJ Brown, John Dodson, and Jake Elliott kicked a bunch of field goals.
Yeah. I remember seeing a random parlay on Reddit from that one where a guy took like every line and then got every touchdown score correct. Insane.
AJ Brown, $170 and 2 tutties. Oof, that's a day.
How was sacked 19 times more than Zach Wilson last year? 34 more than Ritter. That is crazy.
He had 65 sacks last year. Sam Howell.
You kind of got to respect it, at the end of the day. Even if you don't like Sam Howell, or if you think
he's going out
better,
there,
you got to respect the gutsiness. $21 picks, it.
Almost had a Winston 30 for 30 season.
Shout out to Jameis. So those last couple games he threw, it doesn't even matter really. No, wait, it does. I'm looking at the wrong line. Gosh, he threw 7 picks in the last 4 games.
Hey, Josh Allen had 18 interceptions. I don't want to hear this interception talk.
Yeah, picks, like, I don't know how much they do bother me, but like he's still a top 12 quarterback with 21 picks. He had 21 touchdowns, 21 picks. He had 5 rushing touchdowns too.
You have to look at the picks. You have to look at it's like how many of those picks were on 4th down. It was 4th and 18. It's like I just got to throw it up, or I like quarterbacks who don't care at the end of a half, who throw the ball up to try and score, and they throw a pick.
I guess the difference with Allen too is he rushed for 15. Through 29 as well.
How many fumbles he had? Josh Allen fumbled the ball.
7.
That's a lot of fumbles.
He's always had a lot of fumbles. I mean, 8, 14, 9, 8, 13, 7. But once again, with Josh Allen, it's like to the point you just made. It's like he's not afraid to throw it. He's not afraid to put his body on the line. He's not afraid to try and make a ridiculous play.
The problem is he does it when he doesn't need to. He'll do it when it's like, Josh, it's 1st and goal at the 5. You could just throw it away. Just throw it out of the back of the end zone. We got 3 more plays.
But I still.
What about Danny Dimes fumbles over here? 5 million?
I can check him after this.
I don't. I think he's cut down the last few years, but Daniel Jones was averaging a fumble a game. I know that.
Jeez. Well, he's also been hurt more, it feels like. I'm going Addison here just because Pete's on stream. I still feel like drafting Addison as a wide receiver 6 is like
yeah.
I don't care if he gets suspended. Danny, wow. 18 is rookie season.
Yeah.
11. He's gotten better every year. 18, 11, 7, 6, 4.
That's still so bad.
He only played in 6 games last year, so he was on a pretty bad pace.
Oh, Danny.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's funny. That's actually comical.
I mean, if we're talking about another potential quarterback stepping down as a QB1 next year, you got Drew Lock and Tommy DeVito on this roster. And I think it's very I don't know. It's like with that contract. Dang it, I wanted Jake Ferguson here.
They can get out after this. Like, this is the last year of that contract. They're done.
Yeah.
They're done with him after. I mean, have you
So they're
seen
gonna have
any
they're gonna
of the
have
Hard
him
Knocks?
lay
Like,
everything out there.
They were trying to trade for a quarterback this offseason.
Bro's playing like he had Madden 09 rewind.
I remember that.
I did too. I remember feeling like guilty if I used it. I had like a rule that I wouldn't use it. And I just remember like if I every now and then I'd be like, dang it, I'm gonna use it. But it was kind of whack. But every now and then when I'm playing Madden now, I'm like, man, I wish I had rewind. Sometimes you do hit like the wrong button or like a game lags or whatever. All I know with the Giants and Daniel Jones is if we get a Tommy DeVito return, I'm all here for. So his fall off was pretty steep last year, though. Went from really the only notable fantasy game for DeVito was at Washington. That's Washington,
But it's
but I
DeVito,
think they
Tommy
beat.
Cutlets.
He played like better than expected against Dallas. Came in and played better than expected against the Raiders originally. Then beat Washington. Beat the Patriots at home. I don't remember these next games. Green Bay, New Orleans.
I remember the Packers game. He had a huge run to seal that game after Barkley like fumbled when it looked like they were going to win that game. Barkley was going to ice that game and he fumbled. That was a crazy game. Yeah.
Did they win?
Yeah, the Giants won that game. They kicked the field goal to win that game.
Oh. At New Orleans? I don't remember that.
Did anybody watch a Saints game last year?
I don't remember anything.
I could not tell you a Saints game.
I remember Derek Carr yelling at Olave, and
that's a lie. I remember the Vikings Saints game. That's it.
At Philly, it was so bad. He was 9 of 16 for 55 yards, and had 2.7 fantasy points.
It was the end of the DeVito run.
Better have cashed in on that. It wasn't his agent was super weird. Dude, the NFL season is so weird.
His agent is like a weird. He was like a high school quarterback in Massachusetts, and Todd McShay knew him growing up. Like he's like arch rivals with Todd McShay growing up. Todd McShay was telling this story. It was crazy. The NFL is crazy. It's a reality show.
There's gonna be so much that happens this year that like we're just not expecting, not prepared for.
And we won't remember like 6 months later.
I know. I'm about to snipe this guy I'm about to just take Dak Prescott for no reason. Just kidding. I need a running back. Give me Tajay. I'm trying to draft for receiving upside at running back. I'll take Tajay. Pretty sure this guy wants Dak. Yeah, he wanted Dak. All right. I'm taking Chase Brown at this next pick. I'm gonna do it. Oh, I need a tight end on this team too. Dang it. I'll figure it out. All right. What other teams could have a QB1 step down? Dude, what did the Browns do if Deshaun Watson plays
they go to Jameis Winston? What you mean?
But after this year, like, what do they do?
They're stuck. Let's see.
What is that? Can they get out of that contract?
I don't think so. It's fully guaranteed.
Dang.
That was the whole.
You're right.
And they readjusted it and moved it. Let's see. His dead cap number for the next 3 years is 63.7 this year, 63.9 next year, and 63.9 the year after that. In 2027, the contract's over and it's void.
Jeez.
So they're stuck with him for the next 3 years. Yep.
What is he even like? Gosh, the numbers are awful. He's only played in 12 games since he got signed with Cleveland. And he's thrown 14 touchdowns to 9 picks, 2 rushing touchdowns, 6 fumbles. Literally under 2,300 passing yards.
Oh, excuse me. I was wrong. I'm sorry. His dead cap number is $200 million this year, 136.9 next year, and 72.9 the year after that. Excuse me. They definitely can't get rid of him.
That's insane, dude. This has got to be because this Browns defense is not bad. And like
they were weird though last year. They were like really good at home and really bad on the road. Their defense, they had like the number 1 defense in the NFL when they were at home and had like the 31st or 32nd defense on the road. It was really weird last year.
I remember that. I wonder. So they led the league in total defense allowed, 270.2 yards per game. Sorry, had the best passing defense in the league, only allowing 164.7 yards per game. Also led the NFL in third down percentage. Those are just 3 like random stats.
And had the defensive player of the year.
Yeah, most sacks by a player. Well, tied. Myles Garrett tied was Darius Smith last year. I didn't even know that. And Alec Wright. I don't know. There's some random. I don't know. Their defense is goodish, right? Mm-hmm. And they have playmakers on this team. Watson has just not looked.
Can't run the offense.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he can't read. Like, he can't run play action because he doesn't know how to read a defense. Like, when he turns his back and then has to look at the defense, he doesn't know how to read a defense, they said. Because Clemson.
His fall off is crazy. He's a QB5 in fantasy 3 years in a row. Just crazy.
They were up 21-0 on the Chiefs in the divisional round.
I remember that, yeah.
And then it all fell apart.
That's crazy too. I remember that game was crazy. Absolutely nuts. Football's just crazy, dude. All right, yeah, I guess they're stuck with just probably won't see Jameis Winston unless it's just like
yeah.
Because then it's like, yeah, you just can't cut Deshaun Watson.
Honestly, if you're the Browns, you're hoping he gets another incident off the field and they can void the contract or something.
Yeah.
That's what you're hoping for at this point.
I guess Fields could step in front of Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's been hurt.
Yeah, that's why I think Fields is already going to win the team.
Yeah. He's got a calf injury. That is interesting. That's like, okay, that could be something to monitor.
It's toxic because it was such a stupid move. Russell Wilson is notorious for being unliked in the locker room and being corny and inauthentic. Guys in Chicago are still saying Justin Fields is a top 5 quarterback. They love Justin Fields in Chicago. Yeah. So it's not good.
I mean, you know me. I'm I'm Justin Fields truther. Haven't given up on him.
It's a great running back.
That's my guy. So, I guess that's about it. Unless you want to look at like Minshew versus O'Connell.
But that's like
That's
not
different, though. Yeah.
It's like an actual QB battle.
Yeah, that's true. I think. Yeah, that's probably about it. Who's the backup in New Orleans? Not Taysom Hill, Nathan Peterman. Jeez.
Oh, jeez.
I guess maybe it'd be Spencer Rattler. So was Spencer Rattler on what's that show called?
The
Netflix.
The QB show.
God, Last Chance U?
No, it was a different one.
Oh.
It was a high school one. Like
I still watched whatever it was.
Yeah, but that's I
remember that one now.
And his draft stock just completely tanked because of that show.
Yeah, he did not make himself look great in that show. Pinnacle, that's what it's called. Oh no, it was called QB1 Beyond the Lights.
There you go.
His high school is called Pinnacle. Oh, I just missed a draft pick. I got Jerome Ford.
That's not the worst. Not the worst.
Yeah, I'll take it. Good at running back though. Gosh, because he was in front of Caleb, right?
He was
Oklahoma.
And then Caleb got Spencer got benched in the middle of the Red River rivalry game, and Caleb had one of the greatest comebacks ever to win that game for Oklahoma, and the rest is history.
That's right. Okay, so I guess if Derek Carr is playing bad enough, back to the point, maybe we see
the
Rattler, because I think it's not going to. Taysom Hill will probably be involved, but it's not going to be Peterman or who is Jake Hayner, second year out of Fresno State. They probably give Rattler a chance. But yeah, I'm not gonna. I think Carr will probably finish out the season still. But you never know. You might see a Russell Wilson situation where, I mean, the Broncos were almost on a playoff run last year, and Russ was not playing as bad as Sean Payton made it seem, and then Payton was like, "Get out of here, dude." So
yeah, Sean Payton's a weirdo.
Yeah, I think the Broncos are gonna be bad this year. Not really a hot take, but
it's a hot take.
Bo Nix has to be the starter.
He's 50 years old. You drafted him. You think he's a quarterback genius.
See, but I don't think they. I don't think they wanted Bo Nix. I think they're just
they lied. They definitely were lying. They were definitely trying to trade up to get JJ McCarthy.
They're just making it seem like they love a pick that they don't love.
That's Sean Payton is like the epitome of a human sleazeball. So yeah, he'll do anything. He's the spin master.
What is that? What is the Sean Payton contract like?
I don't know. That's private. That's usually private.
But isn't it
coach contracts aren't?
But he's
that public.
And it's still. I feel like if he's out, he's out. Like with coaches, so all we've got is a 5-year contract that ranks second based on average annual value, roughly $18 million per year. It's just so crazy because he's just done nothing with this team.
New ownership group trying to make a splash.
It's true. It's exactly what they tried. Gosh, the Broncos, outside of the Peyton Manning era, have just been they just can't get back to anything.
Yeah, they haven't made the playoffs since they won that Super Bowl.
Yeah. We had the Brock Osweiler debacle.
It wasn't
Shout
that
out.
bad of. They didn't pay Brock Osweiler that contract, or did they? They thought Houston signed
Oh
him to
yeah,
that
that's true. They actually kind of
They let him walk. They let Brock
yeah.
Osweiler go. They said he's trapped. They benched him for. He took Peyton Manning's job, and then they benched him and said, "Manning, we know you have no neck and can't move your body or anything, but just don't turn the ball over, and the defense will win a Super Bowl."
Hey, you got to hand it to Peyton Manning's brain came through. If you watch those games, great decision. I don't know if anyone else. I mean, someone else could have, but Peyton Manning needed to start in order for them to win that year.
I don't disagree.
Yeah. That's like one of my favorite Super Bowl teams ever. So sorry, I got defensive quick there.
The high flying Panthers team that was super overrated. The 15-1 Panthers that I thought was super overrated too.
I'm so glad that Julio Jones beat them that one week. They were really close to being undefeated in the regular season.
My dad will never let that season go because that was the year that Blair Walsh missed that field goal in like the -2-degree weather game. Because if they don't, we would have went to Carolina the next week, and he swears that Vikings team would have beat Carolina because we always beat Cam. We always beat Cam. Cam never beat us, and Teddy Bridgewater's the GOAT. So.
That is kind of crazy to think about. And they destroyed the Cardinals in the NFC Championship game, but
and they were kicking the shit out of Seattle.
That's right.
And Seattle came back late against them.
And that Cardinals team was really good too.
Yeah, but they almost blew that. That was the Aaron Rodgers to whatchamacallit, the Hail Mary to send that game to overtime. And then Larry Fitzgerald had that crazy 360 Carson Palmer turn around, throw it behind his back, and Larry Fitz went like 80 yards to the 5.
Isn't it crazy? Like I can remember exactly where I was watching that game. Actually, most of those games. That was one of my favorite years of football.
It was a good time of football.
That was a great year of football. Even I think the Broncos Patriots AFC Championship game that year, one of the most underrated AFC Championship games ever. That game was nail biting if you're a Broncos fan. Which I'm not going to say. I was a bandwagon Broncos fan, so we'll leave it at that. All right. I just drafted Adam Thielen, so watch out.
Uh-oh.
I need like, how many picks do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh crap. I need 3 quarterbacks and 2 more tight ends. But only 4 picks. Dude, I'm going to draft Sam Darnold for you.
You're doing it for you.
I've got Addison and Hawkinson.
You got it. Yeah, Sam the man.
See, my issue is I didn't mean to draft Jerome Ford, so I have 6 running backs, so it throws
everything off.
But honestly, this team is not bad. I got to figure out a quarterback and a tight end who's actually alive.
Did hear JJ McCarthy lit it up today in the red zone in 7-on-7.
I don't care. I'm putting all my chips in on
MVP Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold, yeah.
Plus 20,000, I think it is.
He's gonna have a great season.
He's gonna have a better season than he had last year. I promise that.
That's probably fair. Maybe I'll draft me some Will Levis.
Another dude. There's so much Tennessee hype right now. It's getting crazy.
But I've been talking about this throughout the offseason, so I don't feel too crazy. See, if I can go Levis then Chicken Conquo, like I feel that at least makes sense. But then I don't know if I get Bryce Young, and that's like the only reason I drafted Adam Thielen. So I don't know what I'm going to do over here. But I'll survive. So you're not on the Tennessee train?
I hear everybody's on it. Like I've heard multiple people this past week. Like, Titans sleeper to win the AFC South and stuff like that. It's like people are all in on the Titans. I don't know what that team is going to look like. I cannot give you an opinion in any direction. I have zero idea what that offense is going to look like, or that defense for that matter.
I knew this was going to happen, though. I talked about this early in the offseason where it's just like they were actually really, really active in free agency. That eventually it's going to come up.
And also, like, I think doesn't the AFC South always, it's one of those divisions that has like a new winner every year, something like that.
That would not surprise me.
Or at least lately.
There goes Will Levis off the board as we... I'll take Bryce Young. Bryce Young's my QB1. Watch out. Yeah, I don't know. Tyler Boyd, Calvin Ridley, D-Hop, Nkonkwo, Pollard, Spears. What was that? Their offensive line, though, it was bad last year. Like, god-awful. That might be the most worrisome thing. And I don't really... Their run defense was good last year. Secondary was not great.
It's just, yeah, they're just another team that was super unmemorable last year. I felt like the Titans won a game that I didn't think the Titans would win. They played really well. Oh, the Titans got blown out this week.
I'll at least give them props for trying to keep up with the rest of that division, like expanding in the offseason. Like the Colts are building around Richardson's rookie season. The Jags are staying stable and like have a chance to win the division. And then the Texans coming off of winning the division literally and adding,
Stephon Diggs and Joe Mixon.
Offense, Joe Mixon. I mean,
like 8. I've heard they've signed 8 ex-Vikings this offseason. They added,
really?
Yes, they added Cam Akers. They added Danielle Hunter. They added we swapped linebackers. I think they signed whatchamacallit, Jordan Hicks. Like it was just like I saw that the other day. The Vikings fans were talking about that, and I was like,
yeah. So at least the Titans trying. Cat says, not sure the Titans are going to be good, but they're definitely going to throw a ton and a ton downfield, which is gold for fantasy. They better. Like, what happened to that Will Levis game, week 8? I mean, to be fair, the next 2 weeks he threw 39 times compared to 29 in week 8. He just threw 4 touchdowns in week 8, then threw 0 over the next 2 weeks. And he was at Pittsburgh, at Tampa Bay, who neither of those teams had good secondaries last year.
Tampa Bay secondary was the worst.
He went from 26 fantasy points and being like, hey, we might pick up this guy off the waiver wire to 9, 6, 12, 7 over the next 4 weeks. And then the improved games were 13, 17, 15. So it is kind of a weird situation. It's either he does take that step forward or he stays at a low floor, low ceiling. Really just depends on your personal belief in Will Levis. I think that's...
Yeah, and nobody knew what to think about Will Levis coming out. It's like one of the most highly debated quarterback prospects I can remember. Like, is this guy good? Is this guy not good?
But hey, I like me a good quarterback story. So I will root for Levis and remain cautious.
That division can't have 4 good quarterbacks. Can't have that.
That's make things too competitive.
That's why, Caleb Williams and Jordan Love are going to bust. Can't have 4 good quarterbacks in a division.
Sam Darnold is taking over the division. He's QB1.
He's a more athletic Jared Goff. That's all I'm going to say. But I'm pretty sure you're a more athletic Jared Goff.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty unathletic.
I don't understand how Jared Goff is so unathletic, but he can sling it.
Especially indoors.
He was actually pretty good on the road and outside. Like I don't think they played a lot of games, or is it that this year they only have 3 games outside?
It's something crazy. The first, like the initial stretch is, the Rams, Tampa Bay, Arizona, Seattle. So that's 3 or 4. Then he's at Dallas, at Minnesota. So that's 1 outdoor game in the first 7 weeks because they have a bye week, week 5.
Yep.
Then Tennessee, Green Bay, Houston. Is Houston a dome?
Yeah, Houston's indoor out. They have a retractable roof.
Jacksonville at Indy. Indy's a dome, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chicago, Green Bay, Buffalo. Chicago, San Francisco, Minnesota. It is hold on, I'm gonna make this draft pick. Malachi Corley is available, and I feel like he's way too good of a. He's a guy. He's 20 picks against ADP here. I was gonna take Sam Darnold, but I'll just go Corley. Is he like alive? Did something happen to him today? I'm riding with Bryce Young and Derek Carr, but the rest of this team is loaded. And sorry, Sam Darnold. That was just hard to pass on.
Quarterbacks are overrated anyway.
It's true. I don't know what I was talking about with Jared Goff, but I was trying to look at the schedule difficulty. I don't feel like this schedule's that much more difficult. It gets, I guess, as it goes on.
Let's see. Well,
I don't know. Rams, Tampa Bay, Arizona, Seattle is still. Then at Dallas. At Minnesota.
At Houston, that's a tough game.
You got a lot of like 50-50 games here. I think that stretch starting week 10, actually, I mean, at Houston, then Jacksonville, at Indy, Chicago, Green Bay, Buffalo, Chicago, San Francisco, Minnesota. You have to imagine these divisional games.
Playing the Bears twice late kind of sucks. You want to play the Bears. Like, I want baby Caleb Williams. I can kick his ass early.
Yeah. Salo was talking about Corley needing a lot of work, probably why he's falling. Dang it.
Tell Salo to worry about defense. He doesn't know anything about offense. Neither does Nathaniel Hackett. If Rodgers tells you he's good, he's good.
I'll still take Corley at 208, though. I don't know. Maybe Sam Darnold made more sense there, but this team turned out pretty good. Young, Carr, Cook, Swift, Spears, Chase Brown, Eckler, Ford, AJ Brown, Drake London, DJ Moore, Christian Kirk, Xavier Worthy, Jordan Addison, Thielen, Corley, Hawkinson, and Conquo. I mean, I only have 1 stack, and that's Young to Thielen. So strategically wise, probably would have been smarter to take Sam Darnold just to, in theory, have another stack. But oh well, I'll survive. All right, it's late, ladies and gentlemen. 2 drafts out for you guys. Hopefully, we brought you some entertainment. We should be back on tomorrow night for mock draft. So stay posted on Discord. Go check out the videos for the week. We got a couple out this past week. And you guys know what it is. Videos, shorts, streams. It's that time of year. You know what to expect. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight. Cass, thanks for drafting. Pete, I'll let you say bye. We'll get out of here.
Yep, you guys, you nailed it. Video, shorts, content every day. Video today, actually. Go watch it. It's good. You'll like it. You'll learn some stuff. Stream tomorrow night, probably. So, yeah, see y'all then.
Sounds good. Have a great Sunday, everyone. Love you guys, man. Loves community. Love the catch, fam. Talk to you guys soon. With that, I will say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on the catch. And peace.